classification of bones. All bones subdivide into each groups. Tubular, long tubular and short tubular bones. Then spongy bones, the same, long spongy bones, then short spongy bones and sesamoid, and flat bones and mixed bone. What is a mixed bone? For example, clavicle is a mixed bone. Do you know why it is mixed? Okay, each bone pass 3 stages in time of development. First stage, that is connective tissue. Second, cartilage, and third, bony tissue. If bone pass these 3 stages, we speak about secondary bone. Primary bone, that is bone which from connective tissue directly goes to bony tissue without cartilage. It is primary bone. For example, roof of the skull, parietal bone, it is primary bone. And clavicle, it is body of clavicle develops like primary bone from connective tissue directly into bony tissue without cartilage. But ends of clavicle develops past 3 stages: connective tissue, cartilage, and then bony tissue, like secondary bone. That is, in general, clavicle is a mixed bone because part of it develops like primary, another part from like secondary bone. Scapula, that is flat bone. Ribs and sternum, they are long spongy bones. And we start from rib. Rib, that is long spongy bone. It consists of head of the rib, that is caput, costa, that is rib. Caput, costa, then neck of the rib, column, costa, and body of the rib. Help me, body. No, corpus, costa, corpus. Caput, costa, column, costa, and corpus, costa. The same in place where neck continues into the body, we have tuberculum costa, here it is. Head of the rib usually has crest of the head of the rib, crista, capitis, costa. This crest present in ribs which joined with 2 nearest vertebrae. For example, first rib, it's joined with complete fossa on the first thoracic. That is why head of the first rib have not got crest. And which ribs, the same, have not got crest on the head. Help me. Which ribs? 11th and 12th, because they also attach to complete fossa. All another, from 2nd till 10th, has crest on the head, because all of these ribs joins with 2 facets, nearest facets in vertebrae. Clear it is. Crest of the head of the rib, crista, capitis, costa. Most convex part of the rib has name angle, angulus costa, and groove of the rib, sulcus costa, which pass near of inferior border, inferiorly. Sulcus costa, it's inferiorly, on inferior part of the rib. That is why we can identify, is it right or left rib. Head of the rib should be posteriorly, looks backward, and this groove, sulcus costa, looks downward. It is left rib. Clear it is? If I take in my right hand, what happened? Head is posteriorly, but sulcus costa superiorly. If I take this way, now sulcus costa inferiorly, but head of the rib in front should be posteriorly. That is only this way that is correct position. Clear? Try to identify, is it right or left? Yes, you're right. That is right rib, head of the rib posteriorly, and sulcus costa looks downward. That is right rib. Here it is left, and this one is right. First rib differ from all another ribs. Oh, first of all, it's smaller. Then head of the rib have not got crest. Tubercle at the same place with angulus costa. Tubercle costa and angulus costa in one place, and it have not got groove of the rib, because this rib is flat in a horizontal plane. It has superior surface and inferior surface. Superior and inferior surface, and superior surface of the first rib has small tubercle where anterior scalenus muscle attached. That is a tubercle of anterior scalenus muscle, tuberculum musculi scaleni anterioris. And in front from this tubercle we have groove of subclavian vein, and behind groove of subclavian artery. It's not very clear to see because it is artificial rib, but you should answer these grooves. That is sulcus vena subclavia and sulcus arteria subclavia, place of attachment of vessels, subclavian vessels. That is right rib because tubercle and these two grooves on superior surface, and head of the rib looks backward. That is right first rib. Next, sternum. Sternum consists of three parts: manubrium sterni, upper part, then body, corpus sterni, and xiphoid process, processus xiphoidus, xiphoidus in Latin. Manubrium sterni, superiorly, it has notch, incisura jugularis, jugular notch. Laterally, here and here, clavicular notches, that is places where clavicle attach, that is clavicle attached in clavicular notch, incisura clavicularis. All another notches are incisura costalis. Do you know how many ribs directly attached to sternum? 7, upper 7 ribs, joined with the sternum. That is why upper 7 ribs are true ribs. True ribs. In Latin, they are costa vera, true ribs. 8th, 9th, and 10th ribs, they joined with the cartilage of upper rib. They are false ribs, or costa spuria. And last two ribs, they are floating ribs. Anteriorly, they not joined with another ribs. They are free in anteriorly. They are costa fluctuantes, floating ribs. And now, incisura costalis, 7 notches in lateral side of sternum. And last moment, that is manubrium sterni joined with body, with corpus sterni, and makes angle angulus sterni. And second rib attached to the sternum opposite to this angle, opposite to angulus sterni. Well, next, scapula. It is flat bone, it has triangular shape, 3 bodies, margo superior, margo medialis, and margo lateralis. 3 angles, angulus superior, angulus inferior, and angulus lateralis. Lateral angle is wide and it has articular surface, and name of this place, cavitas glenoidalis, glenoid cavity, cavitas glenoidalis, place of attachment of humerus. Here it is shoulder joint with this cavitas glenoidalis. Above of glenoid cavity we have tubercle, tuberculum supraglenoidale, and below another tubercle, tuberculum infraglenoidale. Behind of glenoid cavity we have neck of the scapula, column scapula. 2 surfaces, anterior surface attached to ribs, that is why it has name facies costalis. And most of this surface has deep fossa, fossa subscapularis, place of attachment of the same muscle, musculus subscapularis, attached to this fossa, subscapular fossa, fossa subscapularis. Dorsal surface, facies dorsalis, with the help of spine, spina scapula, that is spina scapula, subdivides into 2 fossa, fossa supraspinata above of spine, and fossa infraspinata below of spine. And spine, spina scapula, continues into acromion. It makes joint with clavicle, that is acromion. And last process, that is coracoid process, processus coracoidus, place of attachment of muscles, processus coracoidus. And at the base of this process we have notch, incisura scapulae. Here it is. This place is broken. Look here. That is correct. That is superior border. Here it is incisura scapulae, notch of the scapula, and that is coracoid process. How to identify, is it right or left? This glenoid cavity should be laterally, and facies costalis looks forward. That is left scapula, and here it is right. Glenoid cavity laterally, and anteriorly facies costalis. And last bone, clavicle. I already said it is mixed bone, consists of body, corpus, clavicular, and two ends, extremitas sternalis, joined with sternum, and extremitas acromialis is joined with acromial process of scapula. And this tubercle has conoid shape, that is why it is tuberculum canaidum. This tubercle looks downward. How to identify, is it right or left clavicle? Look here, that is a sternal end, and body near of sternal end, it looks forward. That is, it's convex anteriorly. And tubercle should be downward, inferiorly. That is left clavicle. And here it is the same left. Both of them left clavicles. Here it is tubercle, tuberculum canaidum, and body near of sternal end looks forward. That is, if I take, look here, if I take in my right hand, what happened now? Tubercle, tuberculum canaidum looks upward, should be downward. If I take this way, now tubercle looks downward, but body, it's convex, it's concave, it looks down, backward. That is wrong, should be in front, that is only this way, that is correct position. Here it is, body near sternal end looks forward, and tubercle looks downward. Here it is left, and here it is the same left. That is all. Ribs, sternum, clavicle, and scapula next time. Maybe 3. Goodbye.